Chapter 3. The Nature of Tomorrow's Illusion. The merchant's eyes dart toward the horizon where storm clouds gather, dark and heavy, with the promise of rain that may or may not come. You watch as his weathered hands clutch the ledger closer to his chest, and in this simple gesture, you witness the profound weight of tomorrow's uncertainty pressing upon his shoulders like an invisible stone. Tell me, the Buddha's voice flows like morning mist through bamboo groves. What do you see when you look toward those distant clouds? The merchant's voice trembles as he speaks. I see the destruction of my caravan, master. The silk will be ruined by rain, the spices scattered by wind. My family's security hangs in the balance of weather that has not yet arrived. His breathing quickens with each imagined catastrophe, and you feel the familiar tightness in your own chests, the recognition of how your mind, too, constructs elaborate theaters of future disaster. You breathe slowly, letting the Buddha's presence anchor you in this moment, where the air still carries the warm fragrance of jasmine from the nearby temple gardens. The actual rain has not fallen. The wind remains gentle, yet the merchant suffers as if already drenched and defeated by storms that exist only in the vast landscape of his imagination. Notice the Buddha continues, his voice carrying the wisdom of countless dawns witnessed in perfect stillness. How your mind travels to tomorrow while your body remains here in this moment, where breath flows naturally and the earth supports your every step. You observe how your own thoughts have been following the merchant's journey into imagined futures, and you gently return your attention to the present, to the sensation of air filling your lungs, to the soft earth beneath you. The Buddha gestures toward a lotus pond nearby, where water lilies float with serene grace upon the surface. See how the lotus does not worry about tomorrow's water level, yet blooms with perfect beauty today. Its roots remain anchored in the mud of the present moment, drawing nourishment from what is real, not from what might be. In modern life, you recognize this pattern everywhere, the anxious checking of weather apps. Before outdoor events, the sleepless nights spent rehearsing conversations that may never happen, the constant mental planning that pulls your awareness from the actual richness of now. Your smartphone buzzes with notifications about tomorrow's schedule, while you miss the simple miracle of breath entering and leaving your body. The merchant begins to pace, his sandals creating small clouds of dust that catch the afternoon light. But master, surely planning is wisdom. I have built my fortune through careful preparation, through anticipating market changes and seasonal demands. His voice carries the conviction of years spent building security through control, and you hear echoes of your own relationship with planning. How the practical necessity of foresight can transform into the anxious compulsion to control the uncontrollable. Planning emerges naturally from presence, the Buddha responds, settling cross-legged beneath a Bodhi tree whose leaves rustle with ancient wisdom. Like a skilled archer who draws the bow with full attention to form and target, yet releases the arrow without attachment to controlling its flight. The difference lies not in the action, but in the quality of mind that underlies it. You practice this teaching immediately, feeling into the difference between responsive planning and anxious controlling. When you check tomorrow's weather, do you do so with practical awareness, like gathering information for appropriate clothing? Or do you do so with the desperate hope of controlling uncertainty, checking and rechecking as if your worry could influence the clouds? The merchant sits heavily on a stone beside the path, his shoulders sagging under the weight of accumulated fear. I have worked 30 years to build this wealth, Master. It represents security for my children, respect in my community, protection against life's hardships. How can I not worry about losing what has taken so long to create? Tell me, the Buddha asks, with infinite gentleness, in this moment, as you sit here speaking these words, are your children hungry? The merchant shakes his head. Are you homeless? Again, the merchant indicates no. Are you without clothes or basic needs? A third shake of the head, this one accompanied by a glimmer of understanding in his eyes. Then notice how your present moment reality differs from the future disasters your mind creates. Right now, in this breath, your family is safe. Your basic needs are met. The suffering you experience comes not from actual circumstances, but from stories about circumstances that do not yet exist and may never exist. You apply this teaching to your own life, noticing how often your stress comes not from present moment challenges which you typically handle with remarkable competence, but from elaborate narratives about future problems. The presentation you'll give next week becomes a theater of imagined criticism. The medical appointment becomes a screenplay of feared diagnoses. The financial planning becomes a horror movie of retirement poverty. The Buddha continues, wealth itself is neither good nor bad. It is the attachment to wealth, the identification with it as your source of security that creates suffering. When you believe your peace depends on external circumstances remaining as you wish them to be, you become a prisoner of forces beyond your control. A gentle breeze stirs the prayer flags hanging from the temple eaves, their soft fluttering creating a meditation bell of fabric against air. You watch the merchant's face soften as he begins to distinguish between having wealth and being enslaved by the need to preserve it. His grip on the ledger loosens slightly, and you mirror this release in your own body, letting go of tensions you didn't realize you were holding. Practice this, the Buddha suggests, his words settling into your awareness like seeds in fertile soil. When anxiety about the future arises, ask yourself, what is actually happening right now? Return to the direct experience of this moment, the feeling of breath, the sensation of your body, the sounds around you. From this grounded presence, any necessary action becomes clear and effective. You try this practice immediately, noticing how when you return to present moment awareness, your breathing naturally deepens, your shoulders relax, and your mind becomes clearer. From this centered place, you can plan appropriately for tomorrow without suffering about it today. The difference is profound, like the difference between swimming and drowning in the same water. The merchant looks up from his ledger, his eyes meeting the Buddha's with new clarity. But Master, if I don't worry about the future, won't I become careless? Won't I lose the motivation that has brought me success? The Buddha smiles with infinite compassion. When you act from presence rather than anxiety, your actions become more skillful, not less. The worried mind creates problems through hasty decisions and missed opportunities. The present mind sees clearly and responds appropriately. As evening approaches and temple bells begin their sunset prayers, you understand that tomorrow's illusion dissolves, not through denying the future's importance, but through recognizing that tomorrow's peace can only be cultivated in today's presence. The merchant's wealth will be stewarded more wisely, not less, when he manages it from clarity rather than fear. What stories about tomorrow are you carrying that prevent you from receiving the gifts this moment offers?